Good evening and welcome to BackChat. I'm your host, Tamba Madima. This evening we're chatting to Gerda Steyn. She's going to be joining us this evening. Welcome everybody. Hope you guys are doing good. It is Wednesday evening, halfway through the week. Gerda is in the building with us. We're going to go live. Welcome everybody. I'm just going to accept started. Welcome everybody. Oh, Tembisa Mile, I see you. Mr. Donald Matipa, Jean Dessau. Hello.
Hi there, Temba. How are you doing?
I'm well and you, Gerda. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show tonight.
Awesome. I'm really excited. Thank you so much for joining us. I mean, it is an honor to have you here with us. You know, it's with BackChat and, you know, hearing from so many different athletes. It's always such a special occasion. And thank you, Gerda. I really appreciate it.
No, it's really my pleasure. And you all at Backtrack Sports are doing an amazing job for the sport. I always enjoy listening to your show and seeing all the posts and all the updates. So thank you as well for what you are doing for the sport and for us as sports people. We really appreciate it and we enjoy the entertainment.
Amazing. Thanks so much. It's nice to hear the kind words. You know, we try. You know, we don't always cover everything. We miss a lot of things. But we do always try our best. So yeah, we're gonna pick this conversation up, and I think we're gonna have a good time. Remember, it's not an interview. This is a chat. We're chatting. We're trying to get to know Gerda. We're trying to hear a bit of your story, but also people will get to ask questions. So if you have any questions, guys, send them through and we're going to have a good time. Is that good for you?
Sounds amazing. I can't wait.
All right. I'm going to start by doing an introduction. That's the first thing we usually do on BackChat. So I'll do an introduction so that people know exactly who we're dealing with. And then from there on, we'll get into the questions. Right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this evening with us, we've got Gerda Steyn. She is, listen very carefully, Comrades Marathon Champion and the UP record holder. She is a two Oceans Marathon Champion in 2018 and 2019, London Marathon 7th place, top 10 finisher, as well as the New York Marathon 11th place. She's chasing the record as well on the marathon. Ladies and gentlemen, she goes by the name of Gerda Steyn.
Goes the crowd.
I've even got the vuvuzela for you.
Also tuning in.
Yeah, thanks so much, Gerda. I mean, your CV is so amazing. I mean, the past 5 or so years for you have been fantastic. But you know, it's so interesting when you look at. I mean, when I was looking at your results and trying to go back many more years back, you know, I can't find much, you know, because you've got such a unique journey in running. Let's start with that. How did your journey in running begin?
Yes, definitely. It's certainly a story quite different to the stories that we usually hear from athletes, especially comrades runners. So my journey with running really started late in my life. In 2014, late 2014, I made a decision to take on a job abroad. So I was working as a quantity surveyor at the time. I studied in COFSIS,
Okay.
quantity surveyor. And during my time as a COFSI student, even in school, I wasn't really interested in running that much. I enjoyed running, but I never showed real talent in track running or anything like that. So I wasn't focused on athletics at any stage in my early years. But
Yeah.
when I moved abroad in 2014, I decided that when I got it's Dubai where I moved to, and when I got to Dubai, I realized, well, I need to make friends in one way or another because I literally just moved to Dubai with 2 bags and a whole lot of ideas and dreams, but not really knowing anyone. So I then decided to join a local running club because I did do a little bit of recreational running at the
Okay.
time. just for fitness, and maybe 10 kilometer was a stretch for me, 5 kilometer every other day. And so I joined the local
Yeah.
running club, and I can remember the night so well. It was it was in November 2014, and the first night I joined the running club here, I walked towards where they meet, and the first group of people that I met that night was a group of expats from all around the world, and they were all very happy to meet me as a South African, because every
Yes,
year
yes.
they would go to South.
Oh, yes. Mm. Yeah. Gerda. Wow.
Is the sound still okay? It's
It seems
working.
like your sound. Yeah, I can hear you, but I hear some people are saying no sound.
Oh,
So if you guys can hear me, guys, just wave if you can hear me, and if you can't hear Gerda, just give a thumbs up, down, or up, or something, so we just have an idea. I could hear you, but I hear some people can't hear you. So let's just
I
wait and
wonder.
see. Can you hear me?
Okay, let's see.
Can you hear me fine?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, there is sound now. We are back. We are good. I mean,
Perfect.
I'm just gonna summarize what you said. I mean, you you pretty much started running just to make some friends and to get to know people. And before long, here you are. Starting out a journey in running. Did you know anything about pacing then? Sub 4 minute kilometers. Did you know all those things, or we just hand it on?
Yes, completely. Just running blindly at the start. I just joined one of the pacing groups, and the next time in a running club, and we then in January, and
Gerda, Gerda, can you just stop a bit? Your sound is. They say your sound is breaking. Yeah. Do you know what, Gerda? Maybe just log off and then jump
okay,
back in. I think it's just a bit of a connection.
okay,
Yeah.
I'll try that.
Just log
O-
off and then you'll come back in. All right. Thanks. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Gerda is just gonna try log in. She's having a bit of problems from her side. I think it's signal or something. It's usually on my side, but this time around it looks like I'm okay. Representing South Africa. Gerda is out in obviously Dubai is where she's based, and that's where she trains and everything. So sorry about that, guys. She's gonna come back in now, and then we're gonna get chatting. Welcome everybody. Running Ways South Africa. I see you, Esther, Rita. There's so many people in here. Some are probably gonna log back in because of the connection. Shelly, I see you. Let's see if we can get Gerda back in here. She's gonna just try to reconnect again. Welcome everybody. Taylor Kavana, I see you. Reeds Marelise, welcome. Harry Safa, Running Genius, I see you. Welcome, guys. Guarini Pilates from Brazil, we see you. Sibusi, so I see you. Welcome, guys. Kutuano. All right, let me send Gerda another invite, another request, and then we're gonna get going again. Sorry about that. Thanks, guys. Let's communicate. If the sound is breaking up at any moment, just let us know. Gerda.
Let's see if it works better.
Yeah, let's see if it works. I think it seems like there's just a connection challenge on your side. But hopefully now it'll be better.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay. So I hope so. So then you obviously 2014 is when your journey started, when you moved to Dubai, and so from there on you decided to take on your first big race. When was this, and how did this come about? Can you hear me?
My first marathon was then in 2015. And then after my first marathon, I qualified for the Comrades Marathon. It gave me a B seeding. I knew that, so I signed up to do the Comrades Marathon, and that would have been then my first Comrades Marathon. And it was very, very exciting. I finished my first Comrades Marathon.
Wow. An hour almost every year. I mean, testing one. Can you still hear me? It looks like we're having a bit of connection challenges. Gerda, are you still there with me? All right. Oh, it's breaking up so badly at the moment. I don't know how we can make it better. Are you connected on Wi-Fi? Gerda, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like Gerda is breaking up again. Let's see if we'll get her to connect again. Otherwise, we're gonna have to try and make another plan. Sorry about that, guys. I know you guys want to ask a lot of questions, but yeah, it is what it is. She's just having a bit of network challenges on her side. Funny enough, my connection is good today. It's usually my fault, but today I'm okay. So I'm gonna just cross fingers and hope that everything just continues to improve. But welcome everybody. Thanks for joining in, guys. As you know, we're chatting to Gerda Steyn. She is with us. I think she's just checking or changing her network connection, and then we'll pick it up from there. Sorry for those who are watching. I know we've been struggling with the sound, but hopefully we'll get her back in again. and we'll continue. For those of you who don't know Gerda, well, I think you should know her by now. I mean, she is the Comrades Marathon 2019 champion. Comrades Marathon is 89 kilometers and some change. She's also the 2 ocean marathon winner. There we go. She's back in here. As well as a London Marathon top 10 finisher, where she finished 7th with a personal best time of 2 hours 26.51 seconds. Gerda, can you hear me? It's lagging. It's lagging. I can see it's like lagging already on my side. But let's see. Let's see if it will continue. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I hear you now, but I think it's lagging a bit. Are you there?
I am there, yes.
All right. I think we were talking about the Comrades Marathon, and you running your first Comrades in runabout. You said 8 hours, and every year you said you dropped almost an hour. Actually, almost an hour every year, and you just kept on improving. So, at what point did you realize that running is something that you want to do like on a full-time basis? It's lagging.
Need more time. I was working full time. I had a job that asked a lot of me. So it was very difficult to fit in training. Even though I was doing it at the time, I knew that if I really wanted to get the best out of myself, I'll need more time. So in 2017, and if it doesn't work out, I will go back. But if it works out, I can make it out of it. I will definitely pursue a career in athletics. So since then, I haven't looked back. Leaving my job did mean it was a I had a I had more time to recover, more time to focus on training, and just be rest for sessions. And that really made a huge difference in my career. I then could really, really pursue this dream that I had. And yeah, I've not looked back since then.
I mean, let's be honest here, Gerda. I mean, choosing running or athletics at any given point of your life, it's definitely one of those. It's like a risk because it's. I mean, like you said, you had a stable job. You're making nice monies that side of the world. You've got stability. You've got a routine that you're following, and to move to running. I mean, running is even now. I mean, with the way things are now, but at least your side things are still open and you're still able to run. It's a big risk, and we're glad you did it, and it shows. I mean, like you're a world class South African athlete, and I mean, I still believe there's so much more to come from your side. I mean, you've been running, let's say, full time for 5 years, if we can just add them all up. So definitely a great decision. Can you hear me? Ooh-wee. Ladies and gentlemen, it is difficult.
It does help in terms of the fact that I feel fresh as an athlete. I don't feel like I've had many, many years of hard work. I feel fresh. I feel very excited as a runner. And I do feel like a lot left aren't what they are meant to be at the moment, and it is difficult. But I'm just trying to have a longer term perspective and not just focus on tomorrow or next month, but trying to really build on my longevity as an athlete during these times of uncertainty and just think what is to come. And I know that things will come back to normal. I know that the opportunities will be in abundance again soon. So I'm working at the moment on becoming the athlete that I believe that I can be.
Amazing. I mean, how do you stay focused and motivated? I can hear you're hungry. I can hear you still want to improve so much. And obviously, despite all the challenges that co-breezy, that's what we call it, COVID brings, you're still able to set goals and, continue to focus on becoming a better athlete. I see there's questions here, but what do you do to keep motivated? Do you set goals, or what is keeping you motivated on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, for sure. No, I am feeling very motivated. During last year, 2020, I was fortunate. I had the London Marathon to focus on.
Mm. Uh,
And with that mindset, I'm going into 2021. The biggest excitement for me for this year is, of course, the Tokyo Olympic Games. And yes, it's only in August, but it's also just around the corner. So it's really just filling in the time before that. I'm just focusing on my daily training, day in and day out. Train hard, recover hard, train hard, recover hard. And I know it will be, before we know it, it will be time to line up for the Olympics. So that is my biggest motivation at the moment. And I'm just very excited about that and focusing on that at the moment.
wow. I mean, yeah, definitely. What you're saying. I mean, after last year was a big year. I mean, to finish seventh in the London marathon. I mean, it's a big. I mean, that's I think one of the biggest marathons. Every runner dreams about it, and it's funny to think, like at 22, 23, 24, you were probably thinking, that's far. People are doing all these far races and running marathons, and here you are standing on that line, as one of the contenders. I mean, to finish seventh, you're a contender. You were out there wrestling with the best of the best. Do you have a nickname, Gerda? I see that the sound is okay again. Hopefully, it will maintain. What's your nickname?
Comrades last year. So when I was growing up, I had some nicknames, but I've heard some new ones coming up in the past couple of years. So they often make me laugh. But yeah, no,
Can you tell us some of them?
I've heard Nolwazi. I've heard Golden Gerda. There's a few more, but let's leave it there. But just coming back to the point that you made earlier with standing on a start line like the London Marathon, it's certainly, I do get those moments where I feel like I need to pinch myself. I grew up on a farm in the Free State, knowing very little about anything even outside the borders of the country, and I'm very much interested in it. But to stand on a start line like that as a contender, it's some experience. It's something that I wish for anyone on this planet to have, that moment where they feel like they've worked hard for something and they persevered and they are standing somewhere that.
Wow.
It really gives you a lifetime of memories, and it will keep you motivated for many, many years, and not just for towards your next race. So yes, it's life changing.
Wow. I mean, yeah, it's really amazing. And it's encouraging. The most encouraging thing about it is that, we've got this. I think we live in a generation, especially of people or athletes, or the world has become so everything is on fast forward. They expect you to become the best of the best at 19, 20, 21, or to show some signs of greatness very early so that they can put you in a box of, okay, this person should progress to this level, or here's the next Gerda, Steyn, or whatever. I mean, and then there are people like yourself. Even if I was chatting to Ruben Ramulefi, I mean, Ruben started very, 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 very late. And I mean, he's holding the SA 3,000 steeplechase record. Nobody anticipated him to be great. And there he was as an Olympian and so on. And your story is the same. I mean, London, to finish in that position, and Olympics. I mean, depending on what happens this year, I mean, you are an Olympian. You've qualified. You've got a fantastic time. I mean, 2 hours, 26, 5-1. Coming from, like the interesting thing about you. I mean, in 2016, you only ran 2 hours 51 and 31 seconds. I mean, it's like a 25-second improvement over a 5-year period. So it's encouraging. I think it's definitely a good story to hear from Free Start to the world.
Oh, thank you very much. Yes, it is. I remember that marathon that I ran in 2 hours and 51 minutes, and I can tell you I was so delighted with that as well, because already it
Yeah.
was improved. But now my running has gone to a different. I mean, it's completely different now. I'm trying to be world standards. I'm trying to compete on the major marathons, but yeah, again, it's the same enjoyment. It's the same delight that I find, and it's the same pleasure that anyone could find in running. So that is why it's such an incredible sport. There's a room for everyone. There's a step for everyone, and it's just what makes it so very incredible.
Wow, it is. It's encouraging. I see here ex-Meneer Beer says, Gerda, you motivated me to run the comrades. Let's see if I can get a few more questions. I see here Claire Rick Run says, Gerda, what advice would you give to someone who is going to train for comrades for the first time? You had that moment a while back. We'll take that as a question. I'm going to just take a few more comments. Lovely meeting last Friday during my first sub-3 marathon. That is from Bashir Bolt. We've got Jill Burgess saying, Gerda, we miss running with you, and Dunks from Caltex. I'm sure you will know them or remember them. Another question is, how did your legs feel after your first comrades race, and what was your time? We'll get to that one as well. I'm going to leave the questions for now. I see Crush Nail says, run, Gerda, run. And yeah, there's a lot of, obviously, people that you've motivated. I'm personally motivated by your story because yeah, it's filled with so much hope. It's not the conventional story that is always being told of this is how it must go. You just have to follow your heart, and whilst doing that, you can change the world. You can touch a lot of people's hearts as well. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for running.
Yes, it is true. It's very true what you say. And we see so many athletes out there, and we all have our heroes that we look up to, or our icons, or someone that we aspire to be like. But essentially, it comes down to yourself, and you must think
Yeah.
about yourself as an individual, and writing your own story, and getting to where you want to be in your own unique way. And then you'll always have something to look to in yourself, and when you look in the mirror, to know where you came from and what your story consists of, and that is something that only you can decide and only you can create. So I feel like that is a very important message that I want to carry out to everyone out there, and to try and remember it, and that their story doesn't have to be the same as my story. Their story
Yeah.
can be a complete opposite, but it doesn't mean that it won't work. It can still be a winning recipe.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's a few of those questions. We'll touch on them now. But it's like one of the things again about you is that you always smiling, always you look like you enjoy it. Like even if you're running a marathon and it looks like, I know there's pain, there's some pain in there obviously, but you're always smiling and enjoying it. What type of mentality do you get into when I mean, you must be training extremely hard, as well as racing your race on overdrive as well. What type of mentality do you get into when you get into like competition gear?
Yes, it's true. I try enjoy my running as much as I can. Of course, there's days that training is very, very
Yeah.
tough, and every kilometer is as enjoyable as the next. But I push through that, and I know that I'm working towards a bigger goal. Getting into a racing mentality is a completely different game. There's a big difference in between training and racing, and I feel like that in a race you always get more out of your body
Yeah.
than in training.
Yeah.
Always great to start line and not knowing what to expect, but just like giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and just trusting in the process and believing. And that is basically what carries me through races, is just believing in the unknown and believing that I am capable of more than what my training says and shows.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think that racing is important. It gives you some adrenaline that you don't get.
Yeah.
But important, I think the mental side of running and running in terms of training and racing is as important as the physical side of it. You can,
Mm.
I remember who said it once, but I think it was Hendrik Ramola who said that a lot of people can train for a marathon, but not everyone can race a marathon. So that is mental. That is only your mind. You
Yeah.
have to strong mentally and just push through when things get tough. You need to know that it will get tough and you need to expect it, but still be able to go on and continue and push through until you reach the finish line. And that is something that you just need to teach yourself. You need to learn that toughness. It is not always the training teaches you. You can find mental toughness in many other ways in life, probably from previous experiences, maybe not even do with athletics, but definitely it's something to work on, and it will always benefit an athlete to have that mental toughness.
Sheesh. Mental toughness. I've made a note of that word. We're gonna get back to it. Powerful word. I love it. So there was a few questions we read earlier. So one was, how did you feel after your first Comrades Marathon? The second question was, how would you prepare for your first Comrades Marathon? Let's just touch on those ones, and then we'll move from there.
No. So let me start with saying how I felt after my first Comrades Marathon. Just a few weeks I posted a picture of me finishing the Comrades Marathon for the first time, and I can assure you I was broken. I was so sore after my. I don't think I've ever felt pain like I did the week after that marathon, but it's still come
How
back
long
for
does it
more.
last?
It's still mine. It was about 2 weeks until I got myself to move again, but your body gets stronger than that. And I must say, regardless of the pain, I just knew I wanted more and I wanted to be stronger next time. It was a great lesson that I learned. And the next time I made sure that I did more body exercises, that my body could take the beating of the road a bit better, and it did work. So I think next to the second question is, if I a little bit of advice out of my own experience, for doing the Comrades Marathon for the first time is to not think that just running will get you to the finish line. You need to do a lot of cross training and getting your body strong, literally, to be able to keep going for such a long time out there on the road. It is a jarring race, but it is, once again, it's a life-changing race. And don't worry, when you get to the finish line, it will not be the last time you see that finish line. You will want it more and more, and it will become part of your life.
Like, maybe I'm seeing if these words that you're saying, Gerda, are gonna motivate me to one day try a marathon or Comrades marathon. It's at this point, like, it's too far. I mean, if I must drive 90 k's, I'm tired. I'm like, yo, 90k drive, what? Can we meet halfway?
No, that's where the community comes in. They will carry you to the finish.
All right, absolutely. I want to take, there's more questions. I'm going to see if we can get to a lot of them, but let's carry on as well. Obviously, recently you ran 10K. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yesterday, yeah.
Yes.
Running a 10K, 32, was it 32, 33? 32,
yes.
Was it 32, 33? Yeah. 32, 33, winning that one. Obviously, a good way to start off the season. Run about 9 seconds off your 10K PB, no? 9 seconds. Yeah, 9 seconds off your 10K PB. How does that feel? Obviously, starting off, first race, you never know. And I saw you did mention a lot about you're in a different training block where it's not peak or anything time now. It's just running whilst training as hard as possible and so on. How does that feel? How are you feeling about the 2021 so far, after a start like that?
Yes, no, last night went incredibly well. I was actually quite surprised with my results. It was a great race. It was a night race here in Dubai. We are fortunate enough that races can go ahead at the moment. There are a lot of safety protocols in place with the races. We have to maintain our social distancing a lot. They even cut out prize giving ceremonies, everything just to avoid crowding, which is amazing. They've all been doing a really incredible. So I've been making the most out of the opportunities that I could get. It was a 10-kilometer race, and like you mentioned, I ran a time of 32:33. And I was really pleased with my time. I mean, I'm training at the moment for the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon. It's taking place on the 19th of February. So it was really just part of my preparation for the half marathon. And it turned out I got so close to my personal best time. So I wasn't going for a personal best time. I wanted to run at a certain pace, which I did. So it was great. I feel like I am where I should be at the moment in my training, and just hopefully I can continue this for 2 more weeks, give it my best on the 19th of February on rested legs, and as well in a stellar field. I don't know if you followed the Ras Al Khaimah half marathon announcements recently. It's going to be an amazing world. Everyone you can think of will be there. So just being a part of that is very exciting for me, and I want to run a personal best there. So I'm just focusing 100% on that at the moment.
Woo. Can't wait to see what's going to happen there. Super exciting stuff. We're gonna have to wrap it up soon. I want to see if I can take a few more questions here. I see Steve Dunnett says, Gerda, you're an inspiration. V.M says, love you, Gerda. We've got Star Shayamano saying, go, Gerda. We've got Ridwan Boucher Mail. I don't know how to pronounce this. Says, good luck. And there's a lot of people. Hi, Champ. We've got Andre Ricardo, all the way from Brazil. He's also in here, so welcome to him. Brazil in the house. Welcome. So the next question, I wanted to talk about, obviously, like the mental part of running is so important, and you made use of the word mental toughness. And I think Man, I think if there's a country that knows about mental toughness, I think South Africa. I think next to mental toughness in the dictionary, South Africa
So
is just next. Tell us about that. Like, I mean, those who don't know you, you are from Free State, and I mean, people from the Free State are tough. They are tough. I don't know if it's because the winters are so cold, or I don't know. Is it the farms, or I don't know what it is. Tell us, how did you develop your mental toughness? Because mental toughness it's such a thing that it's so, you can't buy it, you can't read and learn about it. It's a zone. I know it's a zone in the mind where you can into it. Some people tap into it easier, others are afraid of it, others can do it once and don't want to go back again because obviously it's difficult. Where does your mental toughness come from? It must come from somewhere.
for sure, it's a interesting question, and growing not as an athlete, growing up as wondering what I'm going to do with my life and deciding on an office career in the end. It's hard to think back and pinpoint exactly where it's coming from. But when I think about it, I should have known earlier that I could be an athlete. I mean, I know what my strengths and weaknesses are, and I've always known that my mind is strong. So I am a human. I have weaknesses, of course, but I know that one of my strengths are my mind. And I don't know whether it's like you say, maybe the cold Free State, surviving the winters, or I don't know exactly. It's very, very hard to pinpoint it. I don't know what it would have been like if I didn't have a strong mind. So it's hard to know exactly, but I must say it's for an athlete, you can't get around it. I have been fortunate enough to encounter many other athletes now in my fairly short career, and that is certainly one trait that you can see right through from through everyone, is that mental toughness. It's something you can't buy, and you cannot, you can learn to work to make it better, but that's something an athlete has to have. So yes, I'm fortunate for whatever it was in my bringing up that gave. I am determined to.
That's very interesting. Maybe you don't have brothers and sisters. Maybe that's a very good place to develop a lot of mental toughness. But I mean, yeah, it's
youngest child.
Sorry, you're there?
I'm the youngest child, so that's maybe also.
Okay. Yeah, you were fighting for attention, like, hey, pick me, hey guys, No, you've definitely found your attention. You found what you were destined to achieve here on this universe, on Earth. And yeah, I mean, it's all about leaving it all here until, you can't anymore. So let's wrap it up. Very important question. Obviously, there are a lot of challenges being an athlete. Yours might be a bit different because yours started in a much different way and so on. What do you think are some of the challenges, especially like for female? Let's talk about female athletes, because I think it's such an important place where we as South Africa need to somehow find a way to motivate and encourage more female athletes to pursue a professional career, no matter where they come from. So what advice do you have for them?
I think that it is definitely a problem. There are definitely challenges. I mean, when I think about South Africa, 20 years ago, we had such an amazing long line of incredible female athletes in the country. Then it is as if there was a little bit of a downfall, but I do believe that it is picking up now. We are seeing incredible talent at the moment. I feel like there are people on the rise and on the developing. If I can think of out of my head just now about Glen Rozaba, who's had an amazing couple of years now. It's amazing to see athletes like that developing in South Africa. But I think mainly the the source of solving the problem is to develop athletes from a young age and to teach them about having a career in athletics and showing that it is possible and planting that seed of passion in them from a young age, and then also trying to right through until they actually reach a level where they have to make the decision to become an athlete. I think that is a very important thing that we need to see marathon. You need to create them from a young age. I'm the opposite. Again, like we were just discussing, I started late, but I think that if we find develop at a much younger age, we will see the results in 10 years from now, what other countries are doing. And I think that is definitely something that we as a country can work on, to provide that support for young female athletes and to help them carry it through until they get to maybe their 20s and but from the 20s to their 30s even. So I'm about that, and I hope to see that becoming a more popular and see that more in South Africa, because I know South Africans, our genes are athletic. We have got talent in our. It is there. We're not pinpointing it at the moment, but we as South Africans are a very strong. We are a strong nation. We have got perseverance, athletic ability. We have got everything in our ballpark. So I think it's just putting the puzzles together and finding those athletes out there that are developing them to become athletes.
That's a big topic, development. It's a very big topic. And exactly what you're saying, I totally agree. A lot has to be done. A lot of structures have to be put in place. Sport, athletics must be taken as a profession. It's a professional sport. I mean, people are making, you're able to make a living out of it, as well as a few other athletes. Obviously, times like this make it harder for some athletes, to make a living and so on. But talent-wise, 100%. I mean, we've got it, and we're gonna continue to develop more. I mean, we just have to just keep on doing our best. Everybody, we all have a responsibility to give back to South Africa, not just Backtrack, not just Gerda, not just everybody that's watching here, everybody that's been supporting, everybody in South Africa, whether it's parents, Steyn's, Gogos, Malumes, everybody plays a role in making our athletics better. We just have to work a bit harder because we don't have everything in place. So yeah, let's just keep supporting each other, definitely, and hopefully we'll get there one day. All right, closing message closing message to everybody who is watching tonight, for your support. We got people in Brazil. I'm sure there's people in the UK who are waiting for you to get back there. There are people all over the world, and obviously in South Africa, that love you and support you. A message to them as we close. I think we're gonna close this evening on that.
Yes, definitely. First off, my message to the South Africans. I really miss South Africa. I'm not there at the moment, but I was meant to be actually in a training city right now. Of course, it's so hard with travel. I think it's even harder now to travel than it was last year. There's a lot of restrictions at the moment in place, but I really miss it, and I cannot wait to be back there, training on home soil and racing, of course, in front of the home crowd with everyone there together. I cannot wait for those days. And we as South Africa is also very excited to welcome back our friends from around the world to take on the route between Durban and Pietermaritzburg with us. Will be back soon, and we are just hanging on to the great memories from the past until we can do that again. So everyone out there, thank you so much for listening tonight. Apologies for the early connection problems. I hope you join again on the show, and just continue bringing good news through good results. And I have to say, I really appreciate all the support. I run not for myself, I run for everyone out there, for everyone supporting and encouraging me. It's heartwarming and life-changing, and you may not think that I see it, but I see everything, and every comment and every thumbs up. It is really, it is an amazing journey, and thank you for sharing it with me.
Amazing. I see Running Ways, South Africa, RSA. Thanks for holding on, guys, and for sticking through the chat. They say great chat. I learned a lot from the both of you. More from you. But yeah, thanks, Gerda. Really appreciate it. And yeah, we're going to do it again. Yeah, the connection was a bit of a challenge. But I mean, end of the day, we just have to push through, and we did, and we got a nice chat out of it as well. But we'll have you back on in future, definitely. We're going to let you prepare and do your thing. And then in a few months or so, I will send you another message, and then we'll get the chats going again.
It sounds awesome.
All right, thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. It was a good time. We had Gerda Steyn. The Americans will know her as Gerda. She was with us this evening. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll be back again tomorrow. We've got Mapaseka Makanya, who's going to be with us, another phenomenal female middle and long distance runner. She's with us. So stay tuned and join in tomorrow. Gerda, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate it. Have a good evening. And yeah, take care.
Thank you. Same to you. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Take care, guys, and God bless. See you guys soon. Bye.